Hi, guys. Welcome to the TCCW Live. We are here with Miss Sarah Franklin from In the Buff or at In the Buff. I guess that would be a better way to introduce that one, the actual handle, right? Um, so welcome. We are so excited to have you here and to hear a little bit about, what got you here, how you ended up in this side of the world, and also, how did you end up where you're living?
So,
It's like,
well, thank you
do.
for having me. Yeah, it kind of all started as one thing, believe it or not. I always say carnivore kind of started it all. So I had always thought I was, a healthy person, and I had done Weight Watchers in the past, even when I wasn't really overweight, but like needed to feel better or lose a little bit. And then of course I went to college and gained weight and needed to do something. So I did what a lot of people do, and I restricted and I dieted and I ate low calories and I worked out hard and I just did so many things all the time, always trying to look better, feel better, and I just wasn't. And then
Yeah.
I actually worked in pharmaceutical medicine and sales with diabetes and cardiovascular. So I was trained on mainstream nutrition and
Yeah.
eating, often eat small meals, eat your lean protein and healthy carbs and good fats. Like I was eating a good diet. It wasn't like I was eating cake and ice cream and junk food. Like I knew what wasn't good for me. And I never felt like I looked or felt as hard as I worked on that. And it was just really frustrating. I then started having issues like high blood pressure, even though I was, healthy, and like what was going on. I had horrible cystic acne. I had bowel issues. I didn't sleep great. My cycle was a mess. I started losing my hair. And I'm like, what is going on? And the doctor said everything was fine, right? We got my labs and I was good. I'm like,
Oh,
well, something's
fine.
not fine. Yeah. I'm like, something's absolutely not fine, because I don't know about you, but my hair falling out and breaking and this horrible cystic acne, like I started antibiotics for that. I went on Accutane, which was awful.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, and I never knew until now, like that was all insulin resistance. Every single one of those things. I had ovarian cysts that one ruptured and I went to the ER. So like this was not, I looked fine, but I was not fine. I was
Right.
breaking down in the inside. And I'm like, there's got to be something wrong. And with all my training of selling medications to doctors, I had to know how to read and deliver clinical trials and really get into the details. And I started digging. I'm like, this is something's not right. So I really got into different nutrition and diets, and understanding protein, and keto was kind of a little bit popular. So this was 8 years ago that I started a ketogenic type journey first. And I did it wrong. I had more hair loss. Like I thought I was doing what I looked up some keto macro, and it was like whatever I did was not great, and I wasn't eating enough, and now know that.
Yeah.
Because it was tough. Like, but I felt better, but it was really tough, and I was having
Mm.
symptoms of hunger. And then that's when I was like, all right, something else going on. And I started eating a little bit more protein, and I saw Dr. Sean Baker, who was a carnivore. And I'm like, what? Like, no vegetables? I remember being like, that's crazy.
Right.
And then just understanding more and more, I'm like, well, I guess the majority that I eat is kind of meat anyways. Like, I eat some avocado,
Mm.
I eat this. I'm like, all right, I don't know. In January, I'll try it. And I did. And in 3 weeks, I lost like 15 pounds. It was crazy. I'm like, this,
Wow.
and I didn't have that much to lose it. I was like, I was puffy and not feeling great, but I was like, oh my God, this is different. My bloating's gone. My skin's happier. Like everything was so much better. My sleep was better. My blood pressure was normal. Like it was just like, this is crazy. I can't believe. And I just kept saying, I got to do more. And that's when everything spiraled, because you can't unknow what you know about yourself and what's working. And here I am
Yeah.
in the cardiology offices, in the endocrinology and
I can
physicians'
only
offices.
imagine.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't talk about this. Like, there's something you can do, and you don't have to take this pill. Like, that's all I wanted to say. And all I wanted to talk about was nutrition and how you can change it for yourself. And I'm like, one day we had always wanted to move to Costa Rica. That was a dream. Like it was something we always wanted to do and had been saving towards. And it was a someday, a retirement day or whatever it was. And like, well, I don't want to wait that long. I want to live now. And what could I do? I can't do this job there, and I can't do this job anyways anymore ethically because I know that there's a better way. Like I can't do this job.
Right.
And everybody, and that's the best part. All the doctors, all they wanted to talk to me about was nutrition. How did you lose that weight? Why do you eat like this? What is your lab work? What's your cholesterol? I mean, I had the cardiologist looking at my numbers, and my triglycerides were 13. And they were like, this is impossible. This is impossible. I'm like, it's not. Like, and it just made them even look at this totally other side. Like, what are we missing? I'm like, well, I'm not eating sugar. I'm not eating carbohydrates. I'm using fat as fuel. So yeah, my cholesterol's gonna be higher, but what about my triglycerides? They're like, I've never seen somebody with them that low ever. Like, that's crazy. And it just was like changing that narrative. So, yeah, I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to school because I think I could talk about nutrition full time. I'm doing it anyways. It's already my passion. I already love this and I know so much. And that's what I did. I went back to school while I was still working and then started building practice. And it was now 2 years ago, I quit my full-time job and started doing this full-time. And we sold everything we owned and moved to Costa Rica. So sold the house, the cars, the clothes, everything. And so I say like carnivore really changed my life because it just, not only did it change my body and how I felt and everything else, but it just made me question everything else in the system and why am I doing this? And now I don't need medicine for this because I can do this. And it just flipped everything completely. So wasn't expecting that, but I'm very happy how it turned out for sure. And now I work with people online every day from all over the world, as well as some in person as well here in Costa Rica, if you ever want to come visit.
Jenny, we have an invitation. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's pretty cold in most of the country right now. So
listen, I'm in Canada and it is very cold for me right now. Well, yeah, it's pretty cold. It's minus 29 Celsius today. So I'm on my way to Costa Rica right now. See you in a bit.
I'm from Buffalo, New York originally, so it is cold and snow, and I get it. And I've been there for most of my life, so that was another big reason to be like, I don't want to do this every day.
Listen, I'm following your dream. I'm a get out of this cold forever person too, but mine's Italy. But that's nice. Get away from everything cold forever. And yes.
Well, I mean, look at this tan compared to what we have going on.
I'm looking real pale right now.
I love the sun.
You're supposed to be pale, honey.
Really.
But yeah, sunshine, another lie, the sun's bad for you. Like,
right.
So just
I'll tell you, like, I am naturally dark skinned. My mom's extremely dark skinned. We're Romanian by ethnicity. And I always tanned well, but come carnivore now in the summer, my tan is 10 shades darker. And no peeling, none of that stuff. Yeah, I'll still get a burn if I'm in Costa Rica in the sun for I'm in a completely different hemisphere than my body's used to. I won't burn, my skin won't burn and peel or anything like that. I'll just
it's crazy. People ask me all the time, what do you use? Do you use tanning oil? Do you use this? I'm like, no, it's what's in your body that is going to make you react. Whether, if you put a lot of junk in there and sugar, you're going to burn like a piece of toast and get crispy. And then, you don't have to. Like, you can do sun safely. And like you said, moderate amounts. If you're coming down here, I wouldn't say be outside all day, even if you are a carnivore. But, you build that callus and then it's amazing how much, your skin is like, yep. And then when you're like, okay, it's hot, I'm going to go in the shade. It's kind of
right.
Yeah, it is. But another benefit of carnivore.
For sure. I have to say that I thought that was one of the most shocking aspects that I wasn't prepared for. Because like she said, as a very gingerly person, very freckly, fair-skinned,
Yeah.
it was like 25 minutes was my that was it, and I was already, like, pink at that point.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, "How are you ever going to surf? You can't even be out there that long." And I'm like, "I don't know, I'll just paddle back in, like, every 20 minutes," which is a joke, but I did. Um, so
Nice.
right.
Yeah.
And after carnivore, like, my mom, she gets really, really dark. Most of my family, I'm like the weird oddball that got the all the odd traits genetically. My mom's, like, almost black hair. Well, she's gray now, but naturally in her younger years, almost black hair. My sister, almost black hair. My brother is, like, as chocolate hazelnut, dark skin, dark eyes. And then there's me, and I'm like, I swear I'm not adopted.
Uh-huh.
But but my mom was like, this summer, doing the whole thing, I would go outside every morning. As soon as the sun came up, I would spend 20, 30 minutes just hanging out. By midsummer, I realized I was outside 2, 3 hours,
Nice.
no concerns about it, like, I was okay. Like you said, as soon as you start to feel hot, you're like, it's time to check in." But
Yeah.
to last more than 25 minutes, if you had said that to me 5 years ago, I would have laughed in your face hysterically, like, there's
Yeah.
no way,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
And I was darker than my mom this year.
Nice.
I was like, "Look
A
at me,
win.
mom. Look at me, mom."
It's like those hidden benefits you just keep finding out about all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you never people always ask me, "What's the biggest benefit? What's the bi" and much like you, Sarah, I also had a lot of insulin issues and hair like, my hair I was actually looking at a post the other day in my old Snapchats where I was documenting putting this hair treatment on because my part was about an inch and a half wide. And when
Yeah.
I would
Wow.
pull my hair back, all of this hair was missing. Now I came into carnivore hypothyroid as well, so I had
Yeah.
my thyroid in, and I was hypoglycemic. So those 2
Same.
things
Yeah.
together was great. But, those big things, yeah, you notice them very quickly. "Oh my gosh, my hair is coming back. Oh my gosh, my energy's better." But those little things that just keep popping up,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and now, I don't know, I'm about 2 years and a bit in, and all of a
Nice.
sudden you'll go, "Oh my gosh, this or that," right? Like for me, I have a knee injury. A number of years ago, I jumped out of a helicopter, snowboarding, tore my
Oh,
ACL, blah, blah, blah. Knee used to hurt the second it would get cold. It was just painful. Now I'll walk for 7 or 8 hours and I just have no pain in that joint whatsoever.
awesome. Awesome.
So it's just those cool
Yeah.
things that just keep happening where you realize this is exactly how we're supposed to
Yeah.
be and
Yeah.
exactly how we're supposed to be living. And your
Yeah.
body loves
When you give your body, you finally give your body what it needs and the nutrients, and you're not restricting it, you're just giving it the right fuel. It
Yeah.
can figure it out. And there's so much that, I work with a ton of women, especially that almost everyone has some sort of insulin resistance or whatnot, because I feel like the number one reason people find carnivore is weight loss, fat loss. Like that's what the draw is for most, but there's always something else going on. And that's why I kind of lure people in with that. But it's really about your overall metabolic health. And yeah, because they usually have hypothyroid because they're so afraid to eat anything, that's bigger than, a tiny little piece of splash of protein and,
Yeah.
all of these low calorie things and smoothies. And it has to look like a rabbit, is going to eat this salad. Like you've been doing that for so long that you've not given your body any food. And now it just is like,
Mhm.
deprived and built on a house of cards. So when you give it the right
Absolutely.
nutrients, it's finally able to run processes it couldn't for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is dismantling a lot, right? For me, I was in the fitness space for a long period of time. So coming into carnivore had nothing to do with I was already super fit coming in, but it was I was that rice and chicken and what like lean meats
Yep.
person, which was its own thing. And then I have diverticulitis and SIBO coming into this as well. And so I went through every single diet on the face of the planet, much like yourself, Sarah. I came in keto into it. Carnivore was actually a challenge to me. I didn't really know anything about it. Somebody challenged me during a 75 hard. So I wasn't really looking for any benefits of it. I just was like, whatever, I'm going to try a diet. I haven't tried. But
Yeah.
I, at one point, was on the elemental diet, which is like the liquid they give you through a feeding tube if you're on like feeding tube reliant. And I
Yeah.
lived on that for 5 weeks only.
Wow. Oh my God.
So you go through all of these. I was a vegan for a while. Then that made me so sick. I was vegetarian for a while. And then you go through all of these things, but you have to also dismantle, especially for us women, the societal attachment that, oh, if you're a proper girl, you order a salad when you go out for dinner. You know, if you're this, if you're that, there's something wrong with you if you're not this box that fits into this
Yeah.
square through the square hole. And you know, it's the same as the cardio, dismantling that, right? Like,
Right.
oh, how dare we as women lift weights? You're supposed
Yeah.
to run on a treadmill for 4 hours.
Right. Burn calories. Yeah.
There's that comes with it too, right? I work a lot with people in the eating disorder space, and that is that food attachment and the societal implications attached to that is just so heavy.
Yeah.
So we need us girls, see, 3 women together right now
Right?
talking about the amazing benefits of this. And I
And
can't
you're
see any. Selena, can you see any? I can't see any chat. I can only see our stream.
Sorry. I'm trying to balance all 3 of them.
Perfect. You got it. You're fine.
Here, there you go. Can you see that now?
Yeah, I can see it now. Beautiful. There's our
Yeah.
girl.
It's interesting because, you know, everybody has always, oh, Soylent, no. But everybody is just trying to always starve more to get, and then do more. And it's crazy when you're like, how about you just do the right amount and efficiently? Like if you eat efficiently and then you, like you said, work out, you're not going to kill, you don't have to go kill yourself, 5 days a week, 5:30 a.m. I was doing boot camp and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it was basically cardio with some weights. Like I was doing cardio, throwing weights around. It was not true resistance training. And that is such a other, like you said, the other biggest myth that I deal with clients. Like they're used to like, yep, I get up at 5:30 and do my Peloton, or I do my Pilates or my boot camp. And it's like, it's still cardio. You're still just doing cardio. Like you need to actually lift something heavy and you need to do it until it's hard and then you take a break. Like it's very different than just do the opposite of everything you've ever been told and you'll be better. Start there.
That is exactly it.
You're doing the right thing. Do that.
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
If everybody's walking by like, oh, that's it. That's the thing.
Yep.
For sure.
Pretty much. Great.
Oh,
So-
it's James and his Soylent still, sir. I thought
Yes.
a new question popped up there.
So on a regular, what does it, I mean, everybody asks this question. This is like the standard if you're on a carnivore thing and you're talking question. But what does an average day look like for you eating? What do you go to most? What are your like non-negotiables, I guess?
So I've been doing this for 7 years. So what I do is maybe not what everyone else can do. And I'm 5'8". I'm very active. So what I eat is not maybe what you need to eat. And I always preface that with maybe I don't need to, I'm looking for building muscle and maybe somebody else is looking to lose body fat. And so what I do is not necessarily what you need to do. It's not that the body works differently. It's just where you are in the process of what you need. And
Absolutely.
what I do, I eat twice a day. I get up and I go for an hour walk on the beach. I get up before the sun gets up. I'm at sunrise. I'm watching, the sunrise. I'm doing my walk. I come back. I eat a really big breakfast. I train 3 days a week. I'll lift actually 3 days a week and then I'll eat. And I eat about 1.5 to 2 pounds of meat with some eggs for my breakfast. Usually it's ground beef. I I live in Costa Rica, that the grass-fed beef is very delicious and local, and they're
Nice.
eating grass on the side of a mountain, so they're very lean. Like they're almost like bison lean. It's so much leaner
Oh, wow.
because they're not even on flat ground. They're on mountains.
Yeah.
But
They're working for it.
Yeah, they're working for it. They're a lot of muscle. So I eat a lot of ground beef because that's what I have access to here, but it's local. And I do steaks. I do salmon. There's a guy that, it's funny, the meat truck shows up every other Tuesday. Today is meat day. He comes down from the mountains with his big coolers from his ranch, and he has grass-fed, like everything, and pastured stuff. So I stock up. But he has a salmon supply for me. I do sardines. I love eggs, shrimp, and there's a lot of local seafood, down here. I like shrimp probably the most, but those are, I would say, my staples. I'll have, that, and I go about my day, and then I eat like a late afternoon lunch, dinner, just because the sun rises here at 5:15 to like 5:45, depending on the year. So it rises really early, and the sun sets around 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock at night all year. So it's 12 hours of daylight that I am up early and I'm in bed early. So eating dinner at, 7 o'clock would be impossible because I'm in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I eat early, I end early. And it's usually another 1.5 to 2 pounds. I mean, I eat 3.5 to 4 pounds of meat a day, because I said I'm active, I'm tall, I do it this long time. I prioritize protein, and it works for me. I feel the best I ever have. I'm no complaints, and yeah, it works. It works for me. I'm satiated, and there's days I'm really hungry. Like then, if I go lay out in the sun and I'm in this sweaty sauna almost like environment and doing stuff for a couple hours, and then later on I'm ravenous and I'm eating more. So I listen to my hunger when I need it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I love to hear, like you said, always the preface of understanding that although this is for everyone, like you said, we're not all at the same place. We're not all in the same healing stage. Some of us need a lot more repair than others, and yada, yada, yada. And size does play a role to how much you're going to need.
Yeah.
How much energy does your body actually utilize? If you're fairly sedentary, eating 3 to 4 pounds of meat a day is probably going to be a questionable problem.
Absolutely. That's going to be way too much for somebody. If they have 40 pounds to lose, right? Like it's going to be different. And like but on the other side, I hit women, and people are like, with carnivore there, I always get the question, or I get something on a comment. I did OMAD every day and I lost this much weight, and I only eat once a day all the time. And I'm like, that is a terrible idea for your health forever. Do not do that every day. And I will stand by that. There are men that think they can do that. And they're like, well, I eat 350 grams of protein a day. I'm like, I eat that in it. Like I could eat what you ate that one meal. I eat that in two. So I eat double what you're eating. Like there's no OMAD once in a while is fasting. And I love to talk about fasting if you know how to get your meat in and when it's appropriate. But one meal a day is not good for most people because you're giving your body only one chance to digest that food if you have digestive issues, and maybe it's not perfect, and you could probably eat more. Like your hunger sometimes, if you're very insulin sensitive, it's not this ravenous hunger like you're used to, and hunger shows up differently. So while it can be a good tool here and there, every day is just, it's basically calorie restricting at that point. You're just eating half of what you need every day for the most part.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I'm not a big OMAD, not a big
Yeah.
OMAD fan. I tried like everybody, right? You give all these carnivore things a try.
Yeah.
But I'm like you, I'm a big eater. I'm not tall. I'm like pushing 5'6" real hard. I'm not, but I'm going to pretend I'm at 5'6". But
That's
I
okay.
weigh in
Tim
like
Bryant.
at heaviest, I might weigh in at 130 if I'm like in a heavy state for me. I've got one of those Romanian bodies that wants to be a gymnast real bad. Holding muscle takes a lot of training for me with heavy, not I'm a 3-day a week, but it takes a lot of heavy weights.
Yeah.
But like yourself, my metabolism, I need huge quantities of food.
Yeah.
Celine and I started tracking together to make sure we were holding ourselves accountable for getting enough fat because I noticed my hair started to get brittle again. And I knew my fat was starting to get too low. And when I started tracking my food, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm eating easy, like 3,500 calories some days. No problem. Like, and off we go. Have a great day. I'm eating so much meat. And it was fine. Like, I don't care. I just tracking to make sure I'm getting enough fat in there because I will tend towards sometimes I just find awesome meat that like tends to be lean, or I go very fish centric like yourself. But it is interesting. It is a thing. I think a lot of people fail out of carnivore because of either protein poisoning, where they super undereat fat, and then they think that they're failing, carnivore isn't working for them, where they're really just needing to up their fat intake. Or you come across so many people who just try to copy and paste somebody else. And I mean, we can talk about like Paul is probably a great example of that, right? And where we need to add this and this and this. Well, we probably shouldn't be living off organ meat every single day. But I do love as well that you preface that what works for you isn't what's going to work for somebody else, even though this diet is this diet.
Yeah.
I can't touch eggs. I'll break out in a rash, my whole body. It's the only response I have, but
you still have it.
We aren't besties. We
And
work it out.
And like you said, like it is for everybody. It's just what you need is what you need. And my body makes enough stomach acid and enzymes and everything to eat through, 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of meat in a sitting, and I'm not bloated. But if somebody can't do that and they're loaded with years of visceral fat where their organs are basically like intertwined with hard fat suffocating them, it's going to be a problem. So their meal might be smaller because they can only eat this much protein. So they have to add that fat that doesn't take up the space for the time being until you can get to that point, because your body does have protein needs that it is hard for most people to meet. And I know I have so many clients that are rarely eating enough protein. They're like, well, I do 1 pound per body weight. This is my ideal. I'm eating 150 grams of protein. I'm like, I think you need 250 for what you're doing. Like your hair's falling out. You're not going to the bathroom. This, like you need to eat more. And lo and behold, and they do, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I eat this much. I'm like, I know, but you're just you're so afraid to eat more, and you're not hungry because you actually feel like, okay, yeah, maybe you could eat a little more. Like I just ate, but I'll do if I've done a fast or something, like I could eat like 2 pounds of meat, and then it's like 2 hours later, I'm like, oh my God, I got to eat again. I'm hungry right now. Like it's coming. I got to eat. I keep Kansas sardines like around just in case. But, snack.
It's really interesting when you think about it, how us as women have been so conditioned, that we need very little. And, like what you were also saying earlier, Jenny, too, about how it's like, oh, you eat the ladies' diet, you get the salad with the, the chicken breast, and maybe you have a little bit of cheese, but don't overdo it, like that whole whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when you think about what our physical bodies do as a woman, comparative, not saying men's don't, because their exertion and their need is different. But what ours physically goes through every single day just for our hormonal system to work is like, where are we getting that fuel from if we're starving ourselves? Where is our body getting enough energy to house this amazing unit that we're carrying around being called by this name? It's like, I'm sorry, but we are designed to bear children, to create something. Where does that energy come from if we're starving ourselves? And it's like, it's no wonder so many women are having all kinds of, men too. So I'm not leaving you guys out, but sorry, it's Ladies' Day today.
It's easier for men to lose body fat. So it's often easier for carnivore too, because their cycle is 24 hours, right? Their cycle is testosterone. driven. And where ours, yes, we have that, but it's a monthly, it changes throughout the month. So 1 month
Yeah.
everything's great. You have energy, you're fine. 1 week or no, 1 week out of the month. And then the next
Right.
week you're exhausted and you're tired and you need to rest a little more. And another week you can eat a lot more. Another week you don't want to eat anything. So like
Right.
it changes weekly for women where daily, where for men it is the same thing all month long. It's easier,
Absolutely.
it's more consistent, and like you said, we carry on the human race, so we need to make sure we're giving our body what it needs. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. Like I'm not putting that on anybody. Nobody has to do that, but it's just knowing if your body's not functioning to be capable of doing that, your body's out of balance. And whether, I try to tell that with my son. I'm like, I don't care that you're not old enough, to do the whole family thing. I still don't want your body to break down just because, oh, well, I shouldn't be worried about it. No, you keep it intact now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You keep those
But we
hormones
all
going
wish we
now.
started, right?
Oh my
We
God.
all wish
Oh my
we started at
Yeah.
16, right? How
Yeah.
great would we be if we had never had all of those? And I feel, because I see a lot of women come into the carnivore space or in the carnivore space who will do again, to your point, Sarah, like the cardio or the CrossFit or the whatever, and then the super OMAD, and yet they get the weight loss or whatever the goal is out of that. Sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that, but it's stunted, it's short term, and then all of a sudden you start to come back into problems with your hunger cycling. You start to come back into, your body starts to hold on to fat and all of these things, and that's carrying over to me. And I'm probably going to get torn to shreds by the by the carnivore community for this comment, but here it is. As far as I'm concerned, it's if that's what works for you, then that's cool, fine, and you feel good and you don't see any bad repercussions, then that's okay. But it needs to be, that's carrying over those old stigmas to me of we need to overtrain, we need to undereat, and it's still it's just applying it in the carnivore space, and it needs to be a better relationship, especially for women, to 3 times a day of eating, depending on where they're at. And I think that that's just really the only way to start to really train your body to recognize when it's truly hungry, to satiate yourself adequately, to provide enough protein and fats required for beautiful, life-giving, muscular, strong bodies.
That's right. That's right.
It's so true, because even on carnivore, I mean, I've done it all. I've been doing it for a long time. That there were times when I didn't know what I was doing because there wasn't a lot of information out there either. It was just eat meat, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. Well, there's a lot more to it, and luckily I found what works and what didn't work. But then found other people that were good resources. But there was a time where I'm like, okay, I feel great. Like I had lost all this, I had just leaned down and was still training, heavy and lifting. And I felt fine until all of a sudden, like, why is my hair falling out again? Right. Because I didn't even know I was overdoing it, because I wasn't really hungry. I felt fine. I felt this, but obviously my body was giving me a sign that something wasn't right, that I was doing too much. That I wasn't eating enough. And looking back, I was probably eating half of what I eat right now, which is scary because of how much I was doing. And even being carnivore, like a lot of times it is, you need to do less. You don't need to do an hour and a half on a cardio machine ever. First of all, that's going to be adding.
I've done cardio for 2 years. Like,
yeah. Oh my God. I loved walking is great. Walking is great, but jogging, biking, like spin class, that is hell on your body. And if you like it, I'm sure
it's
you
just
really
hell,
don't
period.
Like it. Yeah,
it is the
People tell
worst. Nothing in the world sounds worse to me than waking up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to go on a Peloton for 2 hours. Like that just sounds like absolute hell to me.
Right.
I have no desire for that. I really want to be big and strong. My cute little body is trying its best. But yeah, being on a Peloton for 2 hours,
No,
No, thank you. No,
no. And
no,
you're not building muscle. You're not. Your
no.
body, when you do that, you're telling your body, we need to go long distances with a lot of fuel.
Yep.
And that we need a bigger tank. So that tank is body fat. So you're going to put on fat, you're going to offload muscle because you need to be lighter to go farther. And it's this cycle that is terrible. And people still think, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just eat less, move more in a different outfit because it's carnivore and it's still not what you need. It's the
Absolutely.
wrong thing. Yeah, lift something heavy for a short amount of time. Like I feel like my workouts 3 times a week, they're 20 25 minutes, like heavy. It's it, like with rests and everything. I mean, it's leg day, it's upper day, it's it's very, very simple. It's hard and then it's over.
Yeah. I added VO2 max training recently, but that's about like it's
Yep.
only once a week.
Yep.
And that's the extent of that in the cardio space. And it's 8 minutes with a 3-minute on, 3-minute rest, 3-minute on, 3-minute rest, 1 minute on, 1 minute rest. That's it.
Yep.
And that's my cardio, if you want to call it that.
I do sprints. Yes. So I do sprints for that because it's super easy, free. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Sprint,
I do sprints too.
Yeah,
So
I'll run like in my walk. Yeah, it's great. And it's a quick burst of energy. You can't breathe. You're given, it's 10, 15 seconds, really, really hard. And then you rest. And then you do it, a minute later, 2 minutes later. Yeah. Do that 6 to 10 times.
Not an hour.
Beat. Right.
Not an hour.
You're done in. Yep.
And then there's something a few times, you're good to go. Eat some meat. You'll be all right.
I would do that on the stair climber at the gym, and people thought I was crazy because I'm like, I am not spending all day on this thing. I'm not doing whatever. So I would be on it for about a minute at just like a very normal pace, nothing crazy. And then after that, about 30 seconds, that thing was to the max and I am climbing, getting that heart rate going, and then I would take a break, and I would probably break for like 2 minutes. Just let everything come back down. And I would do that, about like what you said, about 5 to 6 times.
Yeah.
And then I was hopping off. You're like, all right, 15 minutes, you're
done.
You're off.
Yep. We weren't meant to just do like a marathon. Oh my God. More people think like, how many people have you seen running marathons or Ironman? I've seen some competitions and like there are people that are really overweight and really big. It's like cardio does not give your body, tell your body to be muscular and lean. Like, yes, there are people that do those things. It doesn't mean it's good for you. It is so bad on your body. It's breaking you down. Yeah.
I always look at people with their knees.
I'm a big David Goggins fan, and you'll hear him actively be like, I don't do this for health, just so you guys are aware. Like, this is not a health thing. For me, don't go 100 miles like for your health. Right. This is not good for you. This is a mental stamina thing. But Selena and I we're chatting with Dr. Baker, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And we were actually more not talking about carnivore, but more speaking just about like health and wellness. And we were discussing the knees and how many orthopedic surgeries he's done on people who have destroyed their ligaments from thinking running is their best course of exercise for them. Yes. And he's like, I put microscopes in hundreds of knees, and he's like, the impact of this is not where it's at, friends.
It's not worth it.
So I have a practice locally that I also do. It's called neuro reset technique, and it uses the brain and the nervous system with your muscles. So a lot of people just think like repetition will get me strong, right? But if that pathway is not connected, you don't have the full recruitment of it. So it's a really, really interesting treatment, and people that have pain and tightness and weakness can restore that function almost instantly. So within the session, you can test week for something, we can reset it, and you can now have access to it. So it's really in real time results. And a lot of my clients are people that are marathoners, runners, like people that have these chronic, and ligaments and just chronic cardio type sports. Rarely have I ever had somebody who's like, yeah, I lift weights and I surfers. I never have surfers in my practice because they it's actually really kind of a great, perfect system. They paddle out, they hang out, they do a wave, and then they go back, and then they chill. Like there's a lot of downtime. Like there's hard time, and then there's
Yeah.
downtime. But it is, how it should be. They're just relaxing, and it's not go go go. But the people that are on my table the most are a lot of people that don't do anything. That's number one. And then there's people that overdo the training with that, and they're not lifting, and they don't have the muscle, because if you don't use it, you lose it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was something that was really interesting for me to experience is after I hit 40, there was this like faster, I don't want to say loss or decline per se, but if I took a longer break, I noticed it eased off a lot faster than it did, like 15 years ago. And it was really weird to go, oh man, like I actually can kind of test that gauge of this didn't go away that fast. I mean, and still on carnivore, it's not as fast as before I was carnivore. But if you don't lose it, you lose it is a guarantee. It doesn't matter what diet you're on.
Right. Yeah. A body in
For sure.
motion stays in motion. So motion's lotion. You want to keep moving, even if it is just walking. Yes, resistance training is super important for not only your body, but your brain and your nervous system and your overall health, and getting up out of a chair. It's not just looking good. It's like, can you get your groceries when you're older? Can you live on your own? Can you get out of a chair? You're going to give your bone health, all of this, it works together. So it's not just aesthetics. That's a bonus. But you don't want to kill yourself, doing something that's going to hurt you either. So, that is super important, but rest is good too.
It's a thing you see. So, like my mom's mom made 101. My other grandma's currently 99. They both lived on their own. Sort of see they're both farm women from Romania, backcountry, lives. And my current grandma was 99. I asked her, why do you think your longevity is so good? Because she's never broken a bone. This woman will fall. She trips herself because she refuses to use her walker, but she has never broken a bone. Her injuries heal super quickly, but she still eats basically ketovore by nature. Like she just doesn't have interest in carbs or sugar. It was not something she ever consumed. It's not something she wants to consume.
That's
but
amazing.
This woman will walk. She walks to get all of her groceries, which is probably a 40-minute walk, easy for her. And she just takes her little walker and she brings her little basket and she drags it all. And you start to see the impact of this longevity, right? And it's the same thing. My mom is 76 and she's an avid gardener. And she'll take her 30-pound bags of mulch, throw them on her shoulder, go through the house, put them out, dig out her gardens. And she had a fall, I don't know, about 6 weeks ago. She fell chasing her neighbor's dogs that got out of the house.
Aww.
And generally, you would think a woman in their 70s, and my mom is quite a thin-framed woman, but she's strong for her size. She had a fall, and you would think this woman's going to break everything in her body. She cracked a rib because she landed on something, but the rest of her was fine. She didn't even bruise.
Wow.
And again, very ketovore-based diet. Again, no sugars, no carbohydrates, no seed oils in any of these people. And you start to look at the longevity and you're like, okay, yeah, could they lift more? Sure, they could have throughout to have been stronger then. But based on their knowledge and their lifestyle, you're seeing these really long, generally healthy lives.
Yeah.
Complete cognition, no loss of mental faculties whatsoever, no loss really of strength. Like both grandmothers cooked and cleaned and take care of, like my grandma still hawks her laundry down the stairs and does her laundry and brings it back up, and all these things that you see, that it's diet, it's lifestyle, it's walking, it's fresh air. When it's minus 29, my grandma's still out there doing her daily walk. She doesn't care.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we'd all rather be in Costa Rica with you, Sarah, but
I will say I did that when I went to Buffalo, New York for Christmas, and it was, so I don't know the Celsius, but it was 0 and below. I mean, multiple days. There was a foot of snow the one day. I walked every day with a weighted vest,
Yep.
with my coat open because I couldn't close my coat with a weighted vest on. And
Yeah.
I did it for an hour every day in the snow. And it
Yep.
sucks, but I did it because I was outside. And the days where it was just like cold, it's fine. The days where it was windy and cold, I mean,
Windy
I had
and
a
cold.
scarf and a hat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I wish I had goggles. That was all I was
You know how many
thinking.
of these I post on my Instagram of just my eyes? I'm like, it's minus 29, going for my walk. Bye, friends.
Right. Oh my God. But I did it every day and it felt
Yeah.
fine after. It felt good because you got to get moving, and being outside is super important, even in the winter. It's cold
Yeah.
therapy. It's good for your body. It really is maybe not pleasant, but we need to get uncomfortable sometimes. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is amazing
Absolutely.
because your family, that is rare. You know, it's a lost art, and yeah, to be like that at that age
Your
is,
European blood right there. That's what that, that's what
Yeah.
that is. But
that's
you know, I
awesome.
talk a lot. I say to people, go get your groceries. Like
Yeah.
I live in Montreal. I live in Montreal, Quebec. So it's a walkable. Oh, I
Nice.
live in a walkable city, but I have a car. I just don't drive it. And I talk
Yeah.
a lot and I say, walk to get your groceries.
Yeah.
And people will always, why don't you drive? It's so much faster, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, like we were meant to walk, hunt our food, get our food, gather our food, bring our food back.
Yeah.
I walk, I get it. I carry it on my back. And even when it's super cold and it's awful, I
Yeah.
remind myself, we survived the ice age doing this. Yeah, not picking up food from a grocery store, but
Right. Right.
the closest I
Yeah.
can living in a city,
Yeah.
replicating those historical patterns that helped us get to where we're at, living as ancestrally as I can. Go on foot, walk on uneven ground like you do with sand.
Yeah.
Snow is my sand, and you know, off you go. Bring your backpack or your weighted vest, carry something your
Yeah.
body's meant to carry, especially as women, we're meant to carry a baby, right? So
Right.
we are strong for that. Walk,
Yeah.
walk on your feet, do something. It's an easy hack if you need to get food anyways. Just walk to
Yes.
get it, bring it back. It's
100%.
very doable.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were meant to move. We weren't meant to sit all day. And this is why kids are like, can't sit still in school, because you want to be moving and active and walk and energy and all of that. So I even stagger my day to be able to, like, okay, I'm sitting right now. And like after, like, I put blocks in my schedule. I literally walk laps around my backyard, like, because I need to just move in between, because I can't just sit. And if I had a treadmill, I used to at home, like a walking pad, I would, back in the States, I would do that because it was important. And, my dad even talks about how much better he feels. He'll go to Mexico for like 2 months to get out of the snow or something. And he's like, I do 14 to 20,000 steps a day because we just walk everywhere. And when he'll come back into the US in like the cold and it's March, he does nothing. He's like, I can't believe how achy I feel, how sore I am. And it's because you're not moving. He's like, I need to move. And he's like, but then when it's cold, I just feel like I don't want to. And it's like, he's like, I need to force myself. And it's hard to do that when it is not perfect weather, right? It's easy when it's like, oh yeah, it's sunny and lovely. But I did it for years every day. Me and the dog every morning and afternoon would go for the walk. And maybe you have to get a dog because then someone depends on you.
That's exactly what Dr. Baker said to us.
Oh my God, it's so true, because people take better care of their pets than they do of their own body majority of the time. Like, and if that dog is relying on you to walk, you have to walk. So get a dog.
That is so hilarious. Notice he just recently got a dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. He literally
Like,
talked to us about this 3 days before he got that puppy.
Oh,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
already had dogs, but yeah.
we need walks too. They need walks. They need it, and it's a good way to get you moving and to keep you moving. So
Yeah, true.
do it for them.
For sure. For sure.
I love it.
We have lots of highs and hellos.
Lots of hi
Nice.
friends in the
Yes,
audience.
lots of highs and hellos.
Nice.
Oh.
Very good.
Is there any one particular thing that you would say, no matter what, stay away from, don't do, don't think, don't feel, whatever, just anything in particular that you would say is just an absolute no for a great life?
For a great life.
Let's
I love
go
that
for a
very
good life.
broad question.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I was
Get a
winging
dog.
it. I told you, we just wing it here.
We do
Yeah.
it here.
Get a dog. I mean,
Other than
in
get a dog.
overall, like, don't treat your body like an amusement park, I guess. Like, don't treat it like it's on, just, you have to, it's the only place you have to live. If you had a car, if you could only buy one car in your entire life, you would take super good care of that car. You would get the, and there are things you don't think about. You would get the oil change you would exactly when it needed to. You would wash it. You would keep it safe because you don't want it to break down because that's all you have. And that is your body. You need to just take care of it. So if you treat your body like it's just always, like I said, an amusement park or you're on vacation, then you're not going to get the most out of it and it's going to lead to breakdown. So like what that is for you is going to be totally different. Like maybe not ever eating cheese is going to be something that deters you from even trying the carnivore diet, where some other people are like, well, I don't want to eat cheese because it doesn't make me feel as great. There's going to be so many things that don't want to get into weeds about like what's the perfect carnivore diet and food
Absolutely.
look like, but because it's going to be different based on you and your goals and how you feel. But once you know how good you can feel, you're not restricting, you're treating your body with respect. You're understanding like, wow, this is my baseline. This is how good I feel. So then if you tried something else, you're like, man, that wasn't worth it. Like I ate that, tasted good and whatever. Or I didn't move and I sat there and I didn't feel great. Like, once you know how good you can feel and you're not taking your body for granted, you're nourishing it, you're giving it what it needs. You're taking care of it for the long haul because things can repair and heal, but why put poison in if you just have to detox the poison out? Like I have people that are like, I don't know why I feel so bad all the time. And it's like, well, they've never stopped poisoning themselves, whether it's drinking wine every night that their body's never known like how to actually be without alcohol or metabolizing it, or, just tons of processed foods or sugar. Or like once you cut those things out and you're like, this is what normal is, or this is what, it could be. Why would I ever go back to doing something that is, just ruining my health? So just treat
Absolutely.
your body with respect, sleep, rest, do fun things. Take care of from the inside, and it's going to reflect on the outside. That's really
Absolutely.
great advice.
I think on that note, we're gonna go ahead and say bye, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and put us I lost words. I totally lost words.
No.
No worries.
But that was absolutely lovely, and I cannot tell you how important I think that philosophy is for sure, is for all of us.
Yeah.
So I guess on that one, we're going to go ahead and shut her down, guys. And for all of you that are watching, thank you so much. I appreciate the time. I know we definitely have fun on here and always are happy to share what insights we all have. And we're so glad that you came on, Sarah. So I'm gonna shut her down. All right, bye, guys. Until
Bye.
next time.
Thank you.